name is Gabe Zolna. There's a site that you might want to sort of take a look at. I found some very interesting information on it, and it's contained a great deal of valuable information over the many years that Obama's been in office. And what the site is called, Obama Release Your Records. And they had a very interesting article that I wanted to sort of talk about for a few minutes. And you may all remember who Orly Taites is. If you don't know who she is, she's an attorney out of San Diego. And she has questioned Obama's eligibility in court numerous times. And she so far has never been granted a win. But it looks like she might be close to doing that this time. And what she's done is she's filed for a temporary restraining order in California. And the temporary restraining order is to prevent Obama from being certified as being the individual that won the votes in California. And what she's done is she submitted an awful lot of documents and sworn affidavits. Some of those affidavits were submitted to her that were signed and I guess notarized by none other than Sheriff Joe Arpaio from Arizona, along with his lead detective, Detective Mike Zulu, who led the cold case posse. If you haven't done it yet, please do it. Go to the web and Google Sheriff Joe's March 1st press release. I think you'll find it to be rather interesting and informative. It goes for about an hour and a half, but it'll clear up any doubt that you have on many issues as far as his eligibility is concerned. One of the most telling things that pretty much verify that the guy in the White House shouldn't be there, irrespective of the fact of the British Act of 1948, which says that he in fact is a British subject, and the Constitution has a clause that wouldn't allow a British subject or anyone other than an American to be in the office, because he didn't want to have any kind of situation where they could favor the country of their origin, like in Obama's case, Kenya. But anyway, so what they've done is they've put all this information together in front of a judge, and that judge is Judge Morrison C. England. And we're hoping that he does rule, in fact, that the temporary restraining order should be granted until all the evidence can be reviewed and determined as to its authenticity. One of the things that's really telling is Obama's Social Security number. Now, this is a number that he uses and used to file his tax returns, his federal tax returns. That number is 0482684425. Now, I don't know if you all know this, but a birth certificate is something that's issued to one person, only that one person, and a Social Security number is issued to only one person. And when you pass away, which we all eventually will, that number goes with you. So who says you can't take anything with you? You take your SSI number with you. Well, I guess not in every case. You see, the SSI number of 0482684425, that was issued to a gentleman in 1977. And that gentleman was born in 1890. So how old does that make him? Wow, shit, I don't think he's around anymore. But anyway, it was issued to him in, again, 1977. And there's no record of his death, so that number was never terminated. It just sort of goes on, because unless somebody deems you to be dead, there's no reason to cancel that number, because once again, it only belongs to one person that it was originally issued to. And guess where he came from? Connecticut. Obama was having a tough time trying to explain how he got a Connecticut birth certificate issued to him in Connecticut, because you can't mail order these, you know, you have to sort of be there. And he was never in Connecticut when he was like, 17, 16 years old? He was never there, but that's a different story. Anyway, hopefully the judge will rule that he wasn't eligible once he reviews all of the evidence. And once again, if you haven't had a chance, go to the Google and Google Sheriff Joe's March 1st press release. It's very informative, very enlightening, and it'll clear up all kinds of doubt that you may have. The other thing, too, that this judge is going to have to deal with is how come Obama was able to travel to Pakistan in 1980 when travel to Pakistan was prohibited and restricted for American citizens? That's another interesting question. Hopefully, he might even get into saying, hey, you know what? We have to release those records. And I'm referring to the records of Occidental, I'm referring to the records of Harvard, and information on the passport that he used at that time. While he's at it, he might also want to have somebody in the government explain how Obama's military registration card only had 2 digits, when the law says it has to have 4 digits for the date. But his, and only his, isn't that amazing? Only his had 2 digits. Anyway, there's a lot that this judge has to take a look at and hopefully rule on. And if he rules the way he should, we might not have a problem coming in the new year, depending on when again he rules. So, there's hope in California, there's hope with Judge Lewis in Florida, and there's hope with the presiding judge in Alabama. We've got 3 judges that may change the direction of this world. Isn't that incredible? Now, if Obama is found to be ineligible, what do you think might happen? Well, I think that Nancy Pelosi will have a lot of explaining to do. I think that his administration will vaporize. I think that Elena Kagan might find herself off the bench. I don't know about Sonia, because Sonia really, she didn't do a whole lot that I'm aware of that could cause her difficulties. But Elena Kagan did, because Elena Kagan was the attorney that buried his past. So if Judge England rules that, hey, we have to take a look at this stuff, and this stuff turns to be what we think it is, and we know that she knew that that's what it was, then how can she sit on the Supreme Court bench? Doesn't seem to compute. Well, we'll see. I'm looking forward to what the judge has to say and what the other judges have to say. They might save this country. Thanks.